Good morning. Today is Friday, August 8th. We made it to the end of the week. Feel free to give yourself a pat on the back. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. It's going to be a hot one today with temperatures reaching around 102 or so. The area heat advisory is still in effect, and it's expected to stay hot and sunny this weekend. So as always, stay cool and take care in the prolonged heat. Before we run headfirst into the weekend, we'll hear about what's believed to be the first Black-owned gallery in Fort Worth and its generational legacy. That's after today's news, so let's dive on in. A Texas Senate committee has approved a Republican-proposed congressional redistricting map. Senate Bill 4 is identical to the map proposed in the Texas House. It's expected to go to the full Senate for a vote next week. The measure has the votes to pass the GOP-led Senate. However, it's all but certain to stall in the House. More than 50 Democrats remain out of state to deny Republicans the needed quorum to act. At least a dozen members of Congress from both parties are sponsoring multiple bills to ban the mid-decade congressional redistricting Texas is pursuing now. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider reports prospects for the legislation are bleak.
The trio of bills would bar states from redrawing congressional maps between censuses unless ordered to do so by courts. Houston Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher says most of the Texas Democratic delegation has signed on to one of the bills, which is now before the House Judiciary Committee.
This Congress has not asserted its authority. And more than that, it's kind of cheered on a lot of the efforts of the administration to take away Congress's power. And so I don't see this Republican-controlled Congress putting any check on the administration or on what they're trying to do.
Democrats have proposed bans on mid-decade redistricting several times over the past 2 decades, following the previous such move by Texas Republicans in 2003. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
McAnthony's Multicultural Studio and Gallery is believed to be the first Black-owned gallery in Fort Worth. More than just a space, the gallery serves as a launching pad for young artists, including one who would go on to teach President George W. Bush how to paint. It never had a formal mentorship program, but as KERA arts reporter Marquita Fornoff learned, the gallery established an artistic lineage that spans 3 generations.
When you drop a pebble in a pool of water, you can hear the initial splash, but it's unlikely that you'll pick up on the sound of the ripples that flow outward. The same can be said of mentorship. In the beginning, it's not always clear how far its impact will reach. Eddie McAnthony didn't set out to become a mentor or a gallery owner.
All I wanted to do was make art.
He bought a single-family home in the 1970s and turned it into a studio. Today, he's called Doc by friends and former students. At 90, he has a full head of short silver hair. His gallery is far from the city's museum district. It's on a residential street in a primarily Black and Latino neighborhood, near a busy road with a Walmart and fast food restaurants.
People told me, your gallery's nice, but you're in the wrong place.
But it was in exactly the right place for Cedric Huckabee. He's a nationally recognized artist with works in major museums. He also gave President George W. Bush painting lessons. Huckabee's 49 now, but when he was in high school, he was a frequent fixture at McAnthony's.
Basically, learning from him, it was more just like listening to him. Because if you just sit around him long enough, he's going to say something that hits home.
Just over 3 years ago, Huckabee opened his own gallery and gathering space in his grandmother's former home. It's called Kinfolk House, and it's just 10 minutes from Doc's place.
He wanted to do this thing so well, right where he was in the hood, that it would draw all people from all over the area into the hood to see it. That stuck with me. And when I got ready to set up, do Kinfolk House, that's what I want. Just what he said.
In turn, Huckabee has inspired another artist. Riley Holloway is a figurative painter based in Plano. The soft-spoken 36-year-old met Huckabee about 7 years ago. The 3 men recently gathered for a conversation. It was the first time Holloway met McAnthony, and the first time he saw Huckabee with his mentor.
And it is interesting seeing them talk, like, of him, like, talking to him about how to finish these paper maches. You know, I'm used to being on the other end of it. With a ton of questions.
Huckabee didn't just mentor Holloway. He encouraged the younger artist to be himself.
I had a point where I was feeling a little aimless. I was just painting portraits, just to be painting portraits. And he told me to lean fully into who you are.
Figuring out who you are is one of the most important parts of being an artist. It's also one of the hardest.
A whole lot of people run around trying to be like other people. You know it, you see it, and all of us see that. But that's what you have to do. You got to be true to yourself, the way I feel about it, to be successful and have a pretty long life.
That lesson continues to be passed along. Until the three men met, Holloway didn't realize how Doc inspired Huckabee to pay it forward.
That's a beautiful thing. So it's got me over here thinking, you know, like what my approach could be to that too.
Another ripple, quietly building an artistic lineage. For KERA News, I'm Marquita Fornoff in Dallas.
That was KERA's Marquita Fornoff reporting. The Dallas Wings take on the New York Liberty at home this evening, and the Washington Mystics on Sunday. Also playing at home this weekend, FC Dallas takes on the Portland Timbers on Saturday. Community Beer in Dallas is hosting a back-to-school bash this weekend, but this one's for the adults. Enjoy one last hurrah with live music, drink specials, and more before the back-to-school grind begins again. For more info and other back-to-school events, visit the Go See DFW calendar at kera.org/calendar. Thanks for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter. You'll get a more in-depth look into the news with plenty of good morning vibes. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're at KERATX. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.